Hello, it's about 9:45 on the 19th of July. Welcome to this weather update. And it's just another disgusting day out there. The humidity was a little bit lower, but the sky was hazy and just really just murky looking sky. I took a video of just how bad it looked this evening. It was just absolutely disgusting, and that video will be up probably after I'm done with this weather update. But you could see, you could clearly see the haze. There was some showers well off to the south. But other than that, not a whole lot of precipitation today. We'll look at the radar here. You'll see there are some thunderstorms, actually a few in southeastern Pennsylvania. And there was some showers off to the south today, but we didn't really see much. Just a lot of clouds and a murky sky and humid conditions, not as warm, but still kind of on the humid side. Let's go and look across the country, and you'll see, again, all the heat that we have going on and severe weather. Also in the Great Lakes area, Minnesota, as well as Kansas and Colorado. And look at all that heat in the south. Let's go over what the weather is like today in our area first. And you'll see it's 75 out there at Farmingdale. The dew point is 70. Visibility 8 miles. Yeah, there's a lot of haze in the air. The air quality not very good today. They're actually reporting mist at Islip, even though there is no mist. We can put the AQI up, which I keep forgetting to have the ready when I do the weather update. But let's see, 81 it says at Eisenhower Park. We'll pull this up to the longer map here. Bigger map, I should say. You can see AQIs in the 80s. But look off to the west. We have some hundreds here. Yeah, it's not great. Across the whole Northeast, you pretty much got yellows. Upstate, they're in some better air, as well as New England. They've got good air quality up there, but for us, we're still in the moderate air quality. We're still dealing with that haze that we're seeing across the area. So let's go to our highs for the day. And highs, only got into the low 80s. Not a whole lot of sun. Even in Jersey, only low 80s. Not a whole lot of sun today. Just a murky day. And lows, you can see lows generally. Yeah, not much of a range. And we'll just put the dew points on here just to show you the dew points in the air. And you can see a little more humid in New Jersey, but it's a little bit drier. And actually, I noticed the difference today. Not quite as stiflingly humid, but since when does a dew point of 70 actually feel decent? Well, when you've been dealing with dew points in the upper 70s. Precipitation, we'll look at that, see how much rain that fell. I think they did get some rain in New Jersey. Yes, they did. They got some areas got looks like between 1/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch of rain. Some of those showers that moved through, and maybe some thunderstorms too in the area. So let's go back to the high temperatures here. We'll go back to the high temperatures, and we'll look across the country and see how the south is, because that's where all the heat is. And you can see, look at that, mid to upper 90s in Georgia. This stretches through much of the south, upper 90s. Get it with humidity too. Upper 90s in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, dealing with the triple digits still. Really just brutally warm there. I mean, just looking at these highs, it's just crazy. Oklahoma City, and it's not just like I said. It's the whole globe that's dealing with this. Got again the triple digits here, and the whole globe is dealing with this. Now, I don't know if this is going to display high temperatures for the whole country, but let's see if I meant for the whole world. But we're going to go over to Europe and see if we can get some high temperatures. Yeah, I don't think this works well for other areas. Doesn't quite work. It only shows the high temperature because it goes as of midnight our time, not their time. So, but I want to talk about some of the heat that's been going on in some of the other parts of the world that we've been dealing with. Particularly Japan has seen a lot of heat. In fact, we'll actually just put this up here, Japan, and I'll just put Japan because Japan has seen a lot of heat as well. Let's see. Well, I guess not. They're not talking about it. Okay, well, there was a lot of heat in Japan, although, again, I let's see if they actually have the heat here. Extreme heat sweeps the world. Extremely hot summer arrives in Japan. Tokyo heat smashes 150-year trend as extreme weather Yes, Tokyo. Temperatures got up to 16 degrees above the seasonal average, and it's not going to let us read it. Of course, it's not going to let us read it. But we'll go to Ventu Sky and we'll look at it. All right. But they've had some crazy heat. Let me go to Ventu Sky, and we'll show you what they've been going through. Like I said, it's not just us. It's the whole world. There is literally no escape from this heat, and they've been dealing with it in Greece too, as well. And they've had wildfires there. So let's move this back to Monday here. And again, we've got to go to 3 a.m. their time. So you get an idea of the kind of heat that they're dealing with in Greece. Actually, first we'll start with Japan and Southeast Asia, because they've had some extreme heat there as well. So you can see, look at that, 90s. They got over 100 degrees in parts of Japan. You can see this was Monday here. Some of the heat that they've been dealing with here. Look at that. Upper 90s. I mean, insanity. This is yesterday. I mean, 100 degrees still. I mean, it's not supposed to get this hot in Japan. It's not supposed to ever get this hot in Japan. All right. That's crazy. All right. 100 degrees. And let's see today. Today was a little bit better. It looks like they had cooled off a little more. But incredible heat. If we go to the AccuWeather here, and we look at the stories here in the AccuWeather, just make this smaller. First of all, let's look across the country. We'll show you, again, where the thunderstorms are. You got them International Falls. You got some in Kansas, some in Colorado. But if we go and we look at the stories, if I close this up here, we look at the stories, see that a tornado in North Carolina. Phoenix obliterates long-standing heat record. So the Valley of the Sun has set a new record for the longest stretch of temperatures at that extreme threshold, and one AccuWeather expert explains the record could be broken again many times. So for the past 20 days, Phoenix has sweltered under temperatures at or above 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That shattered a 50-year record. And the other thing that's going on, all right, is China. I'll talk about this in another video, but China also set an all-time heat record as well. You know, let me save this for another video that I'm going to make about the climate. I don't want to go too far into it in this weather update. But there's just been a lot of heat all over the place. It's been absolutely nuts. And then you have all the fires too. So let's go to the MODIS here and look at all these fires burning here. The smoke, which you can sort of see over us. You can see there is some clear air off to the north and west. Maybe we'll get into that. But you see plenty of smoke up to the north. These fires here are just going nuts in the Northwest Territories. But those aren't the only areas where there are wildfires. They've had wildfires in Greece as well. Let's move this back. Actually, you can see there's a wildfire that's near Athens that's been burning. A very big wildfire. Look at how far that smoke plume extends. Oh, my God, all the way to Africa. And then we also have wildfires burning in Russia, I believe. This is eastern Russia here. We have wildfires. Look at that. Look at all those wildfires there burning as well. So we have wildfires burning all over the globe. So this smoke, these smoky skies aren't going anywhere. That is Dawn right there, which is back to being a tropical storm again. Here's Dawn's update here, 45-mile-an-hour winds. It's out in the middle of the ocean, and it's moving west now at 8 miles an hour. This is the track, so they're going to take it west, and then it's going to recurve well off New Brunswick as a tropical storm. Very unusual to see tropical storm activity in that unusual way. And then we have Calvin as well. That's right, in the Central Pacific. We have, well, now it's now post-tropical. It did affect part of Hawaii. So looking at the weather map, you'll see here that we have this front that's kind of just washed out over us. Stall front syndrome. We have to wait for the stronger front to come through on Friday to push this old crap all aside so we can finally get some relief from this humidity. Storm Prediction Center, let's go to that. And you'll see slight risk in the Kansas, Colorado, maybe a little tiny bit of Oklahoma and northeastern Minnesota. Looking at tomorrow, it definitely gets a little more widespread, the severe weather threat. It's a little more, again, in that same area in the Midwest. Seems to be, that area is back to being very stormy again. It was like Tornado Alley, and then the activity kind of moved to the south. Now they're having a lot of severe weather back in Tornado Alley again. And then we have that slight risk also in parts of the Great Lakes, Ohio, but nothing for us. Nothing for us as far as severe weather threat goes. So let's go to the models, and we'll go ahead and take a look and see how things are going to be setting up as we go through the remainder of this very ridiculously hot July. Though again, not that hot here, but hot in the globe, and also the humidity and the smoke. So looking at the jet stream, you see it remains kind of a mess. We do have a trough come through, but you see we're kind of on the right side of that, which kind of favors stall fronts and moisture. And then the jet stream just whatever's left of it just hangs out in Canada, which is not good as we head into August. That means, more heat perhaps to deal with, unfortunately for us. Not a big ridge, but you can see what's going on here with the jet stream. It remains a mess. Height anomalies at 500 MB. You can see that little bit of troughing that we have. That'll bring us some drier air, but then the ridge comes back, and then we just have this big, broad, just general ridging across much of the country. Temperature anomalies. We'll look at this we were a little bit below normal. We're going to be close to normal temperature-wise to below normal on the weekend. And you can see where the heat is. I'm displaying this. At least I don't see as much heat over Greenland. That kind of improves a little bit. You can see still lots of heat over northern Canada. And then we start to see some periodic heat, but nothing crazy. The heat in the south does ease eventually. It does ease a little bit. So let's go to the surface map here. And you'll see here as we go into tomorrow, we should actually have a day where only slight shower and thunderstorm chances. Then Friday, we'll have more active conditions as this other cold front passes. And then we should get into some fair weather for the weekend where we won't have any rain chances. And we haven't had a dry weekend since early June. So it's been over a month since we actually had a dry weekend. With that, it looks like conditions do tend to be a little bit drier. But then it looks like toward the end of the month we might see that ridge try to flex its muscle and get more tropical air in here again. And unfortunately, like I said, no really big pushes of cool air from Canada. There's not much of like I said, you saw the way the jet stream is. It's just kind of a mess. So let's go to the HRRR and we'll look at our short range here, and you'll see there's some showers and thunderstorms that are in. I don't think they make it here. And then tomorrow, very scattered activity, mainly inland. It's Friday that we got to worry. This is I think this is the front right here. And in the morning, we could have a line of showers and thunderstorms come through. It hits in the morning, so there isn't as much heat to work with. And it could wind up being just a rainy mess for, at least the first part of the day. And then it scatters out, and then it looks like maybe a few more develop in the afternoon for Friday. With that front coming through. Looking at our dew points, you see we're dealing with the humidity. Those to the north, there's dry air. If you go upstate New York right now, up in Albany, you got some dry air. You might even have some decent-looking skies instead of the junk we have. But for us, you can see the winds do swing over to the north, which tries to bring in some of that dry air tomorrow. Northeasterly winds becoming southeasterly. So I think the dew points will be a little bit lower tomorrow. Maybe we'll actually get dew points below 70 degrees. That is a possibility before the humidity comes back overnight into Friday. And then this is as far as the HRRR goes. You can see that front is still not wanting to move very far. All right, it's just, again, there's not much of a jet stream to move it along. Temperatures, you can see temperatures tonight will drop into the upper 60s, except, of course, where I am. And then you'll see temperatures tomorrow get probably into the low to mid 80s, probably, and maybe some upper 80s in inland areas. And then you'll see for Friday, you can see where it's the clouds and the rain are. You can see the cooler temperatures that are resulting in that. So Friday it's showing a lot. HRRR seems to think there's going to be a lot of clouds around. I don't see those temperatures going up that much. That's what the HRRR has to say about that. But let's go to the GFS next, and we'll look at the GFS as far as dew points go. Put this over here. So dew points, you'll see here back this up to tomorrow. You'll see GFS is definitely a little more encouraging with getting the drier air in, and maybe getting 2 points down, possibly as low as 60 degrees on Long Island, at least on Long Island. And then Friday, it brings the humidity back ahead of the front, and then the front comes through, and then we try to dry it out on Saturday. You can see the humidity is just offshore still, but it has a northwest wind that would keep the humidity away. And then Sunday, also, we have drier air coming in, but the humidity does eventually come back by next week. You see that there. And by the end of the month, we're dealing with humid conditions again. Temperatures, air temperatures for Friday, the GFS a little warmer. Thinks there'll be more sun. 80s Saturday, mid 80s. It won't be all that cool on the weekend. Look at that. Sunday, it's still getting it close to 90. So it won't be all that cool, but it will be lower humidity at least, I think is the key. As we head into next week, it looks like some more heat again Monday, and then some more heat again next week, but nothing crazy. There's 1 or 2 hot days, and it looks like toward the end of the month it's trying, when that ridge tries to build in, that it's trying to get a heat wave. That looks like a pretty bad heat wave too. Saturday, that does not look good at all. That would be well to the 90s. That could be bad. So we'll have to see. We have to watch for that. That's long range. But when you see that jet stream, or whatever's left of it, go way up into Canada, it could be the chance of it being brutal here increases by quite a bit. Let's look at our skies, and you'll see here for tomorrow, it's showing some clouds, more clouds south, less clouds north. This is the GFS. More clouds on Friday. Saturday, less clouds, probably maybe clearing out. And maybe Sunday we could actually have a sunny day, and maybe there's a chance we could see some blue sky. After that, it's back into the yuck again after the following week. Let's look at the RGEM model. And here's the RGEM model, and you can see here, RGEM model for tomorrow showing a decent amount of sunshine until later on in the day. It's showing more clouds to the south. It is showing some sunshine tomorrow. Perhaps we'll get to see some more sunshine tomorrow. But whether we'll get rid of the haze or not, well, that remains to be seen. Friday, you can see the clouds with that front that could bring some rain in the morning. And then this is the RGEM for Saturday. Just some pop-up cumulus behind the front. Other than that, we should have some sunshine. So let's go now to the RGEM model. The wrap model for the smoke. And we'll look at the 21Z. And we'll look at that and see what it is. All right, 21Z. So here's the RAP smoke, and you'll see here there is some smoke over us tomorrow. You can clearly see that. It is showing some smoke again for tomorrow, as we can see the yellow there. It's not as thick, but whether we're going to have a really blue sky or not, I kind of doubt it. I think we might have to wait for the weekend for that to happen. So we're going to have to wait for the weekend to happen. So let's go to the near surface smoke on this and take a look at that and see what that has to show. And you see the yellows over us. It's indicating some haze, but it does seem like it eases tomorrow. So we'll have to see what happens. If it eases tomorrow, then it's possible that we'll have some more blue sky. But you can see all the smoke going on up in the Northwest Territories. There's a lot of smoke, so that is not good at all. Not good at all, one bit. Lastly, last stop, we'll go look at the Climate Prediction Center. I guess we'll go ahead and look at that again, because I'm not going to do this until Sunday. 6 to 10 day outlook. Look at that. A whole country is warm. And just the precipitation near normal. 8 to 14 day. Not much relief. So unfortunately, more heat in our future, and that is not a good thing at all as we deal with the consequences of this climate crisis. But that is all for this weather update. Have a good night, and thank you for watching.